I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll fight
for my brothers. We can go to war. Fighting for my brother, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch that white turn pearl. Standing on the corner, standing on my phone. Standing with my gangsters, but I'm standing on my own. If you got to be alone, split you like you be alone. Sacrifice my life, understanding each his own. Toast to the keys of success. Bel Air rose on my breath. I've been a student since '03, and we can fight till we see peace.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Let me holler at you for a minute, give you game. Real scrappy, love to bada Buddha bang. Trigger happy, and everybody in the game. You shot your family and didn't even know it, man. Same rules, same code, with a different slang. Struck him out, and now they took him out the picture frame. Mama, don't cry, we gon' get by. 2 weeks later, got killed in a drive. Why must we fight amongst each other? Reach one, each one, teach one, my brother. I teach them how to fight on the grass and in the class. Snoop Dogg, all stars, yes sir, they coming fast. D1, football, we won. Now proud of my son, Lil Snoop, yes sir, cause he won. Right on, SC, fight on. We 100, keep it coming, dip, slip, slide on, light on.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Watching the warriors, the story of the rebels. You from the ghetto, did you know never to settle? I'm shooting common on the streets, I'm a pharaoh, battling in African-American apparel. This on a t-shirt, youngins doing street work, grinding till they teeth hurt. That's because they need work, working till the feet hurt. Trying to get my soul right, used to be on old bikes, serving them that cold white. Wars in the winters, the block is hot in summers. Today's mathematics, we know it's strength in numbers. To the bosses and the runners, the hustlers and the stunners. We fight for the hundreds, we fight for the oneness.
He fights with the heat. He fights with the sleet. He said, I am who I am. I can't be beat. Nobody has won a war against me.
I fight like that. 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 I fight.
All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many, and the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being, to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more? Why don't you stand up? God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
Of all the subjects we've covered so far and are about to cover, none is more important than covering the disciplines for success. What's at the core of achieving the good life? The major key to the good life. The major key is not in learning how to set goals. It is not in learning how to better manage your time. It is not in mastering the attributes of leadership. Every day in 1,000 different ways, we are trying to improve ourselves by learning how to do things. We spend a lifetime gathering knowledge in classrooms, in textbooks, in experiences. Now, if knowledge is power, if knowledge is the forerunner to success, then why do we fall short of our objectives? Why, in spite of all our knowledge and in spite of our collective experiences, do we find ourselves aimlessly wandering, settling for a life of existence rather than a life of substance? There may be many answers to this question. Your answers may be different than your associates or your spouses or your friends. While there may be many answers to this question, the fundamental answer is the absence of discipline. Applying all that we know. That's the key word, discipline, self-discipline. We might add one more word here, consistent. Consistent self-discipline. It doesn't really matter how smart you are or how much you know if you don't use it. It doesn't really matter that you graduated magna cum laude if you're stuck in a low-paying job. It doesn't really matter if you attended every seminar that comes to town if you don't apply what you've learned. Better than knowledge is applied knowledge. And once we've applied our knowledge, we must study the results of that process. Apply our knowledge, study the results, refine our approach. Finally, by trying and observing and refining and trying again, our knowledge will inevitably produce worthy results, admirable results. And with the joy and results of our efforts, we continue to apply, to learn, to observe, to fuel our ambition with the positive reinforcement of continued progress. Pretty soon, we'll find that we're swept into a spiral of achievement, a vertical rise to success. And the ecstasy of that total experience makes for a life of triumph over tragedy, dullness, and mediocrity. But for this whole process to work for us, we must first master the art of discipline, self-discipline, consistent self-discipline. It takes consistent self-discipline to master the art of setting goals, to master the art of time management, to master the art of leadership, to master the art of parenting and relationships. If we don't make consistent self-discipline part of our daily lives, the results we seek will be sporadic and elusive. It takes a consistent effort to truly manage our valuable time, or we'll be consistently frustrated. Our time will be eaten up by others whose demands are stronger than our own. It takes discipline to conquer the nagging voices in our minds, the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of poverty, the fear of a broken heart. It takes discipline to keep trying when that nagging voice within us brings up the possibility of failure. It takes discipline to admit our errors and recognize our limitations. The voice of the human ego speaks to all of us. Sometimes the voice of ego says that we should magnify our value beyond our results. It leads us to exaggerate, to not be totally honest. It takes discipline to be totally honest, both with ourselves and with others. Be certain of one thing: every exaggeration of the truth, once detected by others, destroys our credibility and makes all that we say and do suspect. As soon as a business colleague figures out that we tend to exaggerate, guess what? They'll always think we exaggerate, and they'll never quite hold us in the same regard again. The tendency to exaggerate, distort, or even withhold the truth is an inherent part of all of us. And only an all-out, disciplined assault can overcome this tendency. It takes discipline to change a habit, because habits are formed a little bit each day, every day, every day. Once habits are formed, they act like a giant cable. They act like a nearly unbreakable instinct that only long-term disciplined activity can change. We must unweave every strand of the cable of habits slowly and methodically until the cable that once held us in bondage becomes nothing more than scattered strands of wire. It takes the consistent application of a new discipline, a more desirable one, to overcome one which is less desirable. It takes discipline to plan. It takes discipline to execute our plan. It takes discipline to look with full objectivity at the results of our applied plan. And it takes discipline to change either our plan or our method of executing that plan if the results are poor. It takes discipline to be firm when the world throws opinions at our feet. It takes discipline to ponder the value of someone else's opinion when our pride and our arrogance leads us to believe that we are the only ones with the answers. Discipline is a constant human awareness of the need for action and a conscious act by us to implement that action. Discipline is an awareness of the constant need for action and a conscious act to implement that action. If our awareness and our implementations occur at the same time, then we begin a valued sequence of disciplined activity. Now, here's the other side of discipline. If there's considerable time that passes between the moment of awareness and the time of our implementation, then that is called procrastination. Doing it tomorrow instead of today. Procrastination, an almost exact opposite of discipline. The voice within us says, get it done. Discipline then says, do it now. Do it to the best of your ability, today, tomorrow, and always, until finally the worthy deed becomes instinctive. Procrastination says later, tomorrow, whenever I get a chance. Procrastination also says, do what is necessary to get by or to impress others. Do what you can, but not what you must. In every circumstance we face, we are constantly presented with these two choices. Do it now or do it later. Discipline and procrastination. A choice between a disciplined existence bearing the fruit of achievement and contentment, or procrastination, the easy life for which the future will bear no fruit, only the bare branches of mediocrity. The rewards of a disciplined life are great, but they're often delayed until some time in the future. The rewards for the lack of discipline are immediate, but they are minor in comparison to the immeasurable rewards of consistent self-discipline. An immediate reward for lack of discipline is a fun day at the beach. A future reward of discipline is owning the beach. For most, we choose today's pleasure rather than tomorrow's fortune. So how can you get rid of the easy distractions? How can you keep your mind on what you're trying to do? How can you keep an attitude of doing it all and doing it now? How can you make the choice of discipline over procrastination? How can you stay focused on your ambitions? How can you avoid conversations at the water cooler? You can keep your focus on your work. You can get it done today instead of tomorrow. You've got to really work on your consistent self-discipline on a daily basis, or you'll find yourself distracted. Distracted by negative thoughts, distracted by negative people, distracted by water cooler chatter, and pretty soon, depending on the type of people you've associated with, distracted by your doubts within yourself. Never underestimate the power of influence and associations, and never underestimate the power of your own consistent self-discipline. Now let's take a closer look at discipline. True discipline is not the easiest option. Most people would rather sleep until 10 o'clock than get up at 6. It's easier to go to bed late, sleep late, show up late, leave early. It's easier not to read. It's easier to turn on the television than to open a book. It's easier to do just enough than to do it all. Waiting is always easier than acting. Trying is always easier than doing. Imagine what life would be like if we didn't have to make our bed in the morning, or keep our garage clean, or pay our taxes, or show up for work tomorrow. Wouldn't it be fascinating if we didn't have to do these things? Wouldn't it be fascinating? What do you suppose would become of us? You're right, not much. For whatever the reason, the system we live in and contribute to is designed to make the easiest things in life the most unprofitable. Profitable seems to be the most difficult. Our world is and always will be a constant battle between the life of ease and its momentary rewards and a life of discipline and its far more significant rewards. Each has its own price, the price of discipline or the price of regret. We will pay one or the other. What we wish we had done is the voice of regret, speaking in a sorrowful tone at a time when there is no going back. This is regret. No second chance. No, what would I do differently? Choose one or the other, but both will have their price, the price of discipline or the price of regret. One costs pennies, the other a fortune. Dostoevsky said, "There are hundreds of young men who would die for the truth, but very few who would spend 5 years studying to know what the truth is."
Hello and welcome to the Awesome 180 channel. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most fundamental aspects of making your habits stick. You see, one of the questions I keep getting asked is, how do I make sure that I'm consistent with my habits? Like you say, make them small. Okay, I understand that. Make them easy to do. Understood that. But there's a very, very fundamental aspect, which is to get yourself what is called an accountability partner. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. You see, whenever we're trying to make a change, whenever we're going down this whole process of habits and turning our life around and becoming new people, it is a very lonely journey. It is you versus all the thoughts in your mind. It is you versus all the FOMO that you're going to have. It is you versus all those distractions that are going to keep coming up. And this loneliness is what makes people fail because it gets tiring. So the way to do this is to get yourself what is called an accountability partner. You make a promise to this person and you tell them that I'm going to be doing this. I need you to check in on me. Okay? And you can do this in two ways. You can have a physical person, an actual real person, or you can have your social media friends, your social media following, all your friends on Facebook, Instagram, etc. So these two people exist in your life, right? You can make a promise out to the world and say, I'm going to be doing this, hold me accountable. Or you can have somebody saying that, please check on me every day. Tell me if I'm doing this. Tell me if I'm doing this correctly. So that leads to, how do you go about choosing your accountability partner? You see, the person you choose as your accountability partner has to be someone who can talk against you, who can hold you responsible. Somebody who has your best interest at heart. Somebody who knows that even though the going gets tough, even though they shout at you, argue with you, you know that that connection is going to be there. You need somebody who can hold you responsible. Very often we might choose an accountability partner who doesn't necessarily have the ability to stand up to you. And that's a complete waste. Okay, so make sure you get an accountability partner who can do this, who can fight for you, who can say that, you said you were going to do this today. I don't care. Right now, look at the time. You better do it. You still have 10 minutes. Do it. Similarly, on social media, you can put out a post saying, guys, I'm going to go on this keto diet, or I'm going to go and do this 10 days of exercise as a challenge. I want you to hold me responsible. Every day, I'm going to put a picture of myself doing this. If I don't, you all call me out on it. You all tell me where is your picture. And that way you can use both social media and a physical person as an accountability partner for yourself. So what does your accountability partner actually do? They check in on you every day. They make sure that what you've decided that you're going to do, you actually do. They also make sure that your goals are realistic, that you're not setting yourself up for failure. And the last thing that they do is that they give you that little sense of compassion. They make it easy for you, understanding that, yes, sometimes life does get in the way and it's not going to be a smooth sailing process. So that little bit of compassion is needed. Once you get yourself an accountability partner, it is your job to be very, very crystal clear on what you're going to tell them, what are they going to hold you accountable for, and maybe even if they want to add a little bit of a punishment, they can do that. It's all fun and games right here. I have noticed that when you don't have an accountability partner, the chances of failing go up by about 60%. Okay. Just having somebody there that is counting on you makes a big difference to this whole process. So start using an accountability partner. It doesn't have to be something fancy. A simple message on WhatsApp every day to tell them how you're doing is perfectly fine. Find out a friend of yours who is perfect for this role, show them this video so they know what is expected of them and what is expected of you. Okay, make sure that they are on the same page as you, and then use them as your accountability partner to make sure that your habits stick. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like, share this video with people who need to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. Press the little bell icon on the side so you know when future videos come out. I'm Ashton Doctor, your habit coach, and remember, awesome lives, they start with awesome habits.
Ready for Evolution. Awesome life starts with awesome habits, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mighty, Mighty Wednesday. I was about to say power call. Good God. Class is in session. Your brother and friend, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad. Thank you so much for the honor of being here with our presentation this morning. We revamped a few things to make sure that it was as inclusive, as rewarding, as let's go as humanly possible, because gold just broke the $1,800 mark this morning. It's swiftly approaching that 1802. That's the asking. I understand from Brother Wendell Osborne that the kilogram is now at 58,000. So again, congratulations to all those who build towards their wealth and understand the power of gold and understand that gold is in our possession. Okay, so I want us to look at our approach this morning. We're talking about discipline, habits, and accountability. The power in owning it, the power in owning our reality, our existence, what it is that we're desirous of doing. It is very, very, very important that we always align ourselves with the like minds and align ourselves with the activities. So if you were one to plug in, if you're one to stay abreast of all the things that go on in the world of wealth building, if you're one who feeds off the energy of others in your production or your ability to produce, then you'll understand our approach and what we're saying here. We offered the presentation from Jim Rohn in the beginning about discipline. Of course, he dropped some tremendous nuggets. And then you hear the accountability coach showing us the power in accountability. And I want to talk about that a little bit as we get past the housekeeping rules. This was something that was inspired by the coach of coaches, Mr. Al Murray. Early on in my wealth building activity, I watched him do a session from his page, from his personal page, teaching us the art of accountability and having accountability coaches. And I even signed up to be partnered, right? Not partner coaches, but accountability partners. And I even signed up with his team to be a part of that. And so even though it didn't necessarily get off the ground or launch in the way that it was initially envisioned, it didn't mean that it wouldn't have its place at a certain time. This is that time, folks. Gold has just broke the historic 5-year point. Gold is swiftly approaching a stratosphere unbeknownst to this country. However, around the world, gold has broken several heights, value records around the world as we speak. So we're going to experience some of those things. We're going to go through some of our housekeeping rules first and foremost. You must pay yourself first. That is the number one mantra. That is the rule. We must pay ourselves first. Just think about it, folks. 1/10 of a gram saved every day is moving you closer and closer to a residual income that you won't be able to quantify, because your 1/10 of a gram of gold is equal to the V999 token that is now our stable coin. Make sure you're on the corporate call today at 2 o'clock this afternoon Eastern, and pay attention to your Karatbars World, pay attention to Wealth Builders Worldwide. pages. Pay attention to your leadership. Get linked to our Telegram accounts and Wealth Builders, and find out where you can find those corporate announcements and those trainings and everything that's related to our world in wealth building and Karatbars. Pay yourself first. And then, of course, on July 11th, we have two presentations going on at 2 o'clock. We'll have Dr. Robert Mueller, who will be on with the Hollands, Brother David and Sister Rhonda Hollins, Dr. Rhonda Hollins, and they'll be doing a presentation. wbwevents.com is the page for to get your admission. Your tickets there is $9.99, and it's going to be extraordinary. I will be there as well. I don't have the slide for it, but I guarantee that slide will be up tomorrow. I don't know, hanging out on the patio all night threw me off a little bit. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, after we finished with the Gold is Gold session last night on Kalfani Radio, we all went to the virtual patio. We hung out on CC's patio, y'all. Man, a bunch of us got together and we just chopped it up. We watched Roz Range had some technical difficulties, but she overcame the challenge. You know, Brother Carlito popped in, and you know, the new Mary Man, we had to give it to him. You know, so it was very good. It was very refreshing to be able to fellowship and talk in love and unity and wind down from an extremely active day, an extremely asset and income producing day. I mean, just the activity around us, the energy is so high. You know, we needed that wind down, and then we didn't know how to get off. And then when we got off, I'm sure all of us were doing other things. I was still doing other things, and so I was a little hungover. And I want to take time to thank Brother Finest, the boss, and for being with us, or allowing us to be with him, and the Professor Gregory McKay and Sister Yolanda, Finest's wife, and Brother Greg was there in representation of his wife, Sister Renee, and we did the power couple things. Y'all got to see my wife. Yeah, Sister Falami was on last night, and she shared. It was very good for all of us to hear her, and now you all know that she's not a myth. Yeah, she really exists. So it was beautiful. Hey, Sister Deb Nixon. So it was really, really, really a beautiful thing. So 4 p.m. we will be with me. Okay, Gold, a simple wealth building system. We have a multimedia presentation that we're making available. The proceeds that we raise here help to assist the book projects that we're working on, where we want to make it available online electronically first, and then have it available for release by Let's Go Weekend. That's the goal. So any support in that way helps that to go further, but we have something to offer in this opportunity. Gold, a simple wealth building system. The admission for the ticket is $5. Tickets available on eventbrite.com at the Eric Toure Muhammad live event. You can take a look at it, or go to Mr. Eric Toure Muhammad Facebook page, and on the events areas there, you can click the link and secure your ticket there. And again, it's a $5 donation. All right. And then, you know, we've been talking about it all through the chat. The power call, 10:45 a.m. Eastern. It's the real Browns today, y'all. We about to hump it up. So we have Mr. Willie and Mrs. Sherry Brown on the 1s and 2s today. And then 12 noon, we have our presentation at 12 noon. And then again, I think it's Mr. Rodney Berger today. And then at 9 p.m., we have next presentation. I'm sorry, we have the huddle at 7:45. Okay, all this is on goldrocks.info, www.goldrocks.info. You know, the huddle is probably going to go down as one of the premier personal development sessions and workshops that anyone can find anywhere in the world. I mean, it's magnificent. Last week, Dr. Sergio Rosell laid it down. I mean, he showed just through his pictorials and the slides and the challenges you overcome, being exposed to dream snatchers and crushers, and how it led him to another vantage point, and he allowed no one to ever crush his dreams again. And all of us has experienced that in some shape, form, or fashion. But it was really, 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 it was tremendous. It was tremendous. So you want to tune in to the huddle, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And then we have the 9 p.m. presentation tonight. I believe it's going to be Mr. Roger Williams. He's always on fire. And then, of course, it's Freedom Call night with Mr. Tyrone Best, and he's been on fire since 37 years ago. We got to do something really special, y'all. The 14th of this month marks 25 years, a quarter of a century of personal freedom of that man, Mr. Tyrone Best. And we need to do some kind of, we need to have, Cece, I know you'll come up with it, Sister Sherry. We got to have some kind of party, like an all-day, straight out, flat out celebration, in the world of wealth builders. We'll figure it out. But I'm all in if y'all are all in. Okay? Not if. I'm all in anyway. Y'all might want to join me. And then the Kafani Radio Network, international network. What do we have in store tonight? Of course, you have Dr. Aleem Muhammad. This is the weekly update, the 19th element with Dr. Abdul Aleem Muhammad and Brother Mustafa Muhammad. And they will be on the Kafani Radio Facebook page. That is the platform. Kafani Radio. No media network has done more to globally elevate the culture and philosophy of wealth builders worldwide than Kafani Radio Network. That's just a fact. Okay. And we're building and continuously building to expand the wealth building base. So thank you, Brother Carlito Muhammad. And just so that you know, on the Saturday, the 25th of July, 2 p.m. Eastern, there is a tribute, a dedication, and an experience in honor of Wealth Builders Worldwide founders, Mr. Ty and Mrs. Valerie Best. That's going to be July 25th, 2 p.m. Eastern. That is a Saturday. Registration is it's on Kafani Events. I have the wrong slide here. www.kalfanievents.com. It's a $10 registration. It is a talent appreciation showcase and poetic runway. Mr. Willie Brown will be there, and he'll be featuring his awesome colleagues, Brother Woody and Uncle Rufus. So you want to be in the place. Sister Cheryl Ann Gober is on the set, the first affiliate in North America, as well as, I can't tell who the others are coming. But you see that Miss Diamond Black and Miss Toy Honey, who was with us last night on the Gold is Gold show, the Precious, China, Floyd Banks, Nubia. I'm telling you, and Mahogany, please, it's going to be an awesome event and affair. You want to be a part of it. Thank you all for participating last night. I know I'm going through a lot. I'm trying to move fast, but I'm just jacked, straight out excited. I want to thank all of you for participating in the 90-day run to wealth. It was the open house session yesterday. We had a tremendous turnout, and we had a lot of fun. In just articulating those things that we need to do and have to do as it relates to budgeting our time, budgeting our monies, the importance of having a home-based business. We laid it all down last night, and it was very, very good. So text your full name, email address, and the message 90 to 404-246-5708 if you are interested in joining on to the 90-day run to wealth. Okay. And again, Eric Teray Muhammad YouTube channel is free to subscribe. Please go ahead and subscribe and share. A lot of the things that you look for, that you see, that you found significant or important on your Facebook pages and your Twitters and all these different feeds, LinkedIn, a lot of times you won't be able to find them again, because with 2 billion users on Facebook, once it gets away from you in the feed, you don't see it again. You don't know how to search for it. You can't find it. Many times, wealth builders, those things are found categorized on our YouTube channel. So please, by all means, take advantage of the opportunity to go back and look through that magnificent library and find out what wealth builders are doing, what we're doing, what other leadership is doing, and just general fun and appreciation. There's some things that I find there that I find quite comical that I may never share on a feed, but I'll definitely share it on the channel because I'm sort of bugged out like that. But at any rate, that's where we are on the 90-day run to wealth. Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. is a Zoom link. And when you send the full name, text, email, and the message 90 to that number, 404-246-5708, you'll in turn receive the link to join on to that wonderful program. Now, I likes this because in a nutshell, this really explains where we are and what we need to do in order to maintain relevance, maintain significance, and maintain income while we build wealth at the same time. See, the Karatbars International by far offers the greatest compensation plan of any e-commerce opportunity in the world, any networking opportunity in the world. However, the culture to keep to build upon that opportunity, it requires an education that traditionally you don't get anywhere else. You see, you didn't learn about money in school. You didn't learn about, not real money. You didn't learn gold was money. You didn't know of its power or its significance and how, if available to you, you can do a world of wealth and make a world of difference within your household. Okay. We didn't know. It wasn't given to us. And as in Sister CeCe Mahomes' mantra, as always, you don't know what you don't know. You see, and we just did not know. Okay. But that has been eliminated with the culture of Wealth Builders Worldwide, y'all. We have the opportunity to really share, really explore, really go in depth into those fundamental, simple things that we can do. See, most of us don't save, and we covered this last night a little bit. Most of us don't save because we don't know we should. That's a fact. We do not know we should save. Why don't we know it? We don't know it because we were trained into a philosophy that benefited the wealthy, the rich. Not the wealthy, but the rich. We were trained into a philosophy that benefited a system of poverty. And again, I always tell you, poverty is punishment for a crime you didn't commit. So you're born into it, and you don't know you should do different. When we did an interview last night with Sister Diamond and Sister Toy on the Gold is Gold show, Sister Diamond said something that really stuck out to me. I asked her about her modeling. Both of them are great, tremendous spoken word artists. They have tens of thousands of followers all over Blog Talk and all the internet medias, right? But Sister Diamond also modeled early on with California Radio, when California Radio was known as Diamonds and Gents and Lights, Cameras, and Fashion. And I asked her what inspired her to do it. I knew that she was a spoken word artist, a tremendous one, both of them tremendous. You'll see on the 25th. But I asked her about her modeling. And she said she really knew nothing about it. She didn't really want to do it at first, but her daughter was interested. So she had a daughter that had dreams. So she played into the dream. I'm using that loosely. She played into the dream and became a model and started modeling with her. And she ended up enjoying it and being good at it, you know? And so to see the power of a dream and partnering to develop that dream is something that can't be underestimated. It can't be underestimated. We must follow our dreams and our pursuits. So many of us, going back to the saving piece, many of us don't know that we should save. So we outlined some focus, some goal setting last night that assists us in the run to wealth. Okay, and we outlined some goals in the early morning. If you saw yesterday's program dealing with the world's pursuit of a stable coin backed by gold, and we already have it. Y'all need to share that program. Y'all need to go back to that program. It's on the YouTube channel as well. Okay. Today, let me just fast forward. So what do? We organize ourselves. We organize ourselves. We organize ourselves. We create the massive action in the way that we need to do it, and we dream big. You see how happy this man is over here? You see this fella? He stays crunk. He stays happy. Oh, that was at one of our last trainings at our Let's Go weekend. You know, the technology training. Man, we have awesome time. We have family. There's nothing like a Let's Go weekend experience. We're going to have a tremendous one in September virtually, unlike anything you've ever seen. And when we're able to get together again, because there will be again, one more again, boy, when we get a chance to get together again, we're gonna lose our solitary minds. Okay, so look, you have to write your goals, you have to write your dreams, you have to write it down. You have to write it in order to see it. You have to write it in order to will it. And you have to organize yourself to take massive action. Our culture creates massive action, and it creates accountability partners. So when we were talking about that just before I went through the updates or the housekeeping rules, accountability partners. Accountability partners, I shared that from brother, that clip, because I found tremendous value in it in our wealth building pursuits. Part of going or building in depth with your organization is going beyond the ones you sponsored and reaching out to those who they sponsored and finding someone with a little fire behind under their wings. When I say a little fire, they don't have to be doing a tremendous, they don't have to be the rock stars. They don't have to be the people who are just jumping out there and getting all the packages. And no, you looking for people who are saving. You're looking for people who are holding on to that bedrock. And you're looking for people who may not have done much, but they're tied to someone who is doing. But you build in depth. What do? I circulate books. I give out gifts. Sometimes I know a birthday, and before they know it, and the address, before they know it, they're receiving a gift of Dream Chaser Manifesto, several CDs, John Maxwell's book, The Power of Five. There's a lot of things that just happens, in helping to feed the fire in your organization. But one of the most explosive techniques that encourages family and embeds the culture of wealth building are accountability partners. It makes the accomplishment to achieve a level of discipline that much more pronounced. They said in the clip, 60% of people in goals fail because they don't have an accountability partner. Because if we leave it up to ourselves to say we'll do it, a good many of us won't. But I hold on to a conversation I had with Sister Demawi. I hope you don't mind me making this public, Sister Demawi. I really do. We were in a discussion on the phone, and she talked about her routine, getting up in the morning, getting ready, getting her coffee in, and getting ready for her walks. And she's ready at 4:30, and she gets up, and then she makes a move to get to the stream. This one right here, class in session. Then after class in session, she goes out while it's still the cool of the day in that triple-digit desert that she resides in, and she goes on her walk, and she live streams and things of that nature. Powerful, powerful, powerful routine, right? So she said that there are times where she'll hear that voice say, Demal, you can skip today. And then in the next instance, she's up out of bed and she's moving. No, we will not skip today. She has that power of the inner coach. She has developed herself to the point where the routine must take place. Everybody doesn't have that. She's not in that 60% that fails. She's not there. She has developed herself. Now, everybody deserves coaching. Everyone deserves. You hear Mr. Dalco talk about it often. He said if Coach Dwayne Taylor was in his house, there'd be no way in the world that treadmill would be sitting there collecting dust. So likewise, we all need coaching, and this culture produces it. Accountability partners rather, is key to your success. There's several team members in our organization who are partnered with each other. Some of them gradually just grew towards each other and they started doing things. Others I saw on fire and I put them together, with encouragement. And we all talk all the time. Just like I talk with many of you, 2 and 3 at a time on the phone with you. I'm 2 or 3 at a time deep into the organization. It's important. It's critical to the growth and the success of your organization. So in order to know to do those things, plugging in is the essential part. That element allows you to do it. You create the massive action. You create it because, look, you have all the tools. We have all the tools at our disposal. Now, mind you, for those who are not familiar with what I'm talking about Wealth Builders Worldwide. We are a group of independent affiliates in Karatbars International, and Karatbars International is an e-commerce company, and our product is pure 24 karat gold. We are the world's largest providers of gold in small increments, anywhere to be found in the world, and anywhere that our physical products can be delivered, FedEx handles it. Karatbars International is the #1 client of FedEx. We are paid on a MasterCard, a privately issued and partnered MasterCard, because we have a personal relationship with MasterCard. We have a personal relationship with Mercedes-Benz. Our headquarters in Stuttgart, Germany is just across the street, sort of around the corner like, from Mercedes-Benz headquarters. And we have these relationships. We've contracted with the Vatican and supplied 300,000 grams of gold. And gold is deliverable on request. Gold is deliverable to us because we exchange declining paper dollars for gold. We don't buy it because you can't buy money. We exchange the declining currency for the real money. It's weight in gold, and it's affordable. $7 can make you a millionaire. Fact. Okay, so we save a gram at a time, tenths of a gram at a time. We save and we acquire gold covered cryptocurrency. I'm telling you, there's nothing like this anywhere in the world. So if you're not as familiar and you want to know more about the opportunity, get with your brother or get with those who might introduce you to this stream and let them know that you're ready to get busy, you're ready to get started, you're ready to learn more about the opportunity. So that being said, the culture that I'm speaking of helps you not only build your wealth, not only helps you develop cash flow within your home, and grow your home-based business, but it also helps you to save it, maintain it, and protect it. We build legacy wealth, we build legacy fortunes, and we do it by taking massive action. We write everything down. We make our lists, our fortunes in the follow-up. We make sure we follow up with our people. We follow the power calls. We follow our freedom call. We follow our 5 and 5 training. We follow our huddles. We follow our fast track trainings. We follow our personal development. We stay plugged in, because in staying plugged in, that's the power in owning it. Owning what? Owning yourself. Controlling the narrative that shapes your destiny, that builds your legacy, that helps you to be remembered. That's what we do. That's how we do it. And you have that power and ability as well. So if you're ready to get busy and do the thing that allows you to build your wealth and build a future for your family, I'm telling you, you're in the right place ahead of time. 10:45 is our power call. At 9 a.m., this ends just before 9 a.m., we'll be heading to Sister Lakeisha McKnight, who does her Bible study, and she shares there. You're welcome to come. You're all invited to the Lakeisha McKnight Facebook page. And then we move over to Brother Kansu Hotep Atum, and then we hang out with him a little bit with his pre-show before the power call, and then we move on and we're going to hang out with the Browns. You want to be on time or before time. If you find yourself with a little time in your hands, 10:30, sometimes 10:25, hell, sometimes 10:15, you might just want to sign on to goldrocks.info and just see what's going on. Man, it's just pure fire, folks. Pure fire is something that's designed to help all of us, help others, help themselves. And that's the reward in what we do. We are absolute wealth builders. Make no mistake about it. Okay, so you have an opportunity in front of you. We have a presentation. Sister Cece, I sort of, when I was talking with you yesterday, I believe, I literally had my days confused, because, when you're free, you don't really know what day is what day. Hey, Sister Nikki Knox, you don't know what day is what, but tomorrow We're going to have a real sensitive but necessary discussion. We're going to look into why we as Black people are the way we are in society. What mindset was created where it appears that everyone else can come to America and prosper? Every people can come to America and have an opportunity. And those of us who have been here since its inception almost can't seem to collectively pull it together. So we're going to explore the dynamic that created the mindset that took us away from the group economic strategy that we were always a part of as original people. And we're going to share that a little bit tomorrow. It's a little sensitive in approach, but I want you to approach it with an open mind, because that open mind will help you see how you can reach your people and bridge gaps in understanding, bridge gaps in seeing the value and the universality in each other as a people. So it's an approach, because when you have an opportunity like Carabal's International that levels the playing field, when you have something this powerful that levels the playing field, it allows you to look at everything as they are. I'll give you a quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that I was made to embrace. One day I was with him at the National Urban League in New York, across from the United Nations headquarters. Now, this was several years ago. This was back in the 80s. My father was there. Other leaders were there. And I was a fly on the wall, as an aide or an assistant to him at that time, Minister Farrakhan. And so the meeting was roughly, I want to say, close to 9 hours. It might have been longer. I know the day was long. And all these people sit at the table, and everybody's articulating a desire for a Black agenda, meaning a way to harness a measure of control of our spendings in the community, of our political choices in the community, of our social and economic aspirations for our people in community. And so, hey, Brother Gregory. And so, as we were leaving that long meeting, hey, Brother Joe Derry, I noticed that the minister appeared perturbed, that he appeared upset. And again, I was a fly on the wall, so I wasn't a part of the pay grade at the time to really say, hey, Brother Minister, everything okay? What's going on? It was just my perception. But he must have sensed it, because he turned to me and he said, brother, it's like we all have on glasses, but each glass has a different color lens in its frame. He said, so if I'm wearing blue and you're wearing red, and that one is wearing purple and that one is wearing green, then we all see things tainted through the color of our lens. He said, but if we all just take the glasses off, no, he said, if we all just take these damn glasses off, we'll see things and we'll see people as they are. He was upset that we were around a table of men, and all the women in the room were basically doing clerical hospitality type things, and they weren't at the table to speak about the plight of women, to speak about the plight of struggle, as if there weren't two sides to the coin, like there isn't two halves to a whole. You understand? So he was really, really, really upset, and he went in and he shared that with me, and I was blown away, but it was true. And so this level playing field in Carabal's allows you the opportunity to explore the mindsets, the histories, the entrapping of people and places. We'll understand why the rich have done what they've done. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it, well, it's dead wrong, but it doesn't make it right per se. But what it does do, it gives us a means by which we can effectively approach our dream and our pursuits, and we'll understand better. And So tomorrow's going to be very interesting. I consider it a little sensitive. I want you, brothers and sisters, family, friends, and guests, to put your big boy and big girl britches on. And if your seat gets a little hot, just stand up, fan it a little bit, and then sit right back down in the cool. And if you find something offensive in what's given tomorrow, just look at it this way. That's not for you. That's for the other person. Don't take it personal. Okay? So looking forward to our session tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the, I was about to say clarity. There you go, Sister Debbie. I look forward to the clarity that's given. I look forward to the power of gold that we're enjoying and celebrating. Pray for it. Will it. Call on creation. Call on the universe to give you the heights, the value of your gold. But it only counts if you're saving gold. So make sure you're doing at least that. Save gold. Yes, Sister Tyson, we have focused on the keys, the shackles, and not the keys to success. Boy, oh boy, you teaching there, sister. Wear your steel toe boots. I don't know. I thought we gave them all out when Brother Wendell did his thing a couple of days ago. You might still have them, but we better bring that Lana cane. Because we're going to have some sore toes tomorrow. That's not a threat or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's just something that we really need to dialogue over and absorb. So family, stay plugged in. Harness your tools. Remember our program for Saturday. We really appreciate your attendance and appreciate what you bring to the table. I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll come away with something that's meaningful to you and keeps you ready and allows you to stay ready for revolution. Stay plugged in. Take a screenshot of that card. It's sort of difficult to do when it's you got other graphics there in front of it. So I'm going to try to remove that there. See if I can do that. I think I got it. Or maybe not. So take a screenshot of that card. We are together at 10:45 on the power call. Embrace all those beautiful, wonderful leaders there because they have helped us be better. And our world in the future will be better because they came into our lives. So family, thank you for your time, attention, and energy. And I will see us all in a few on the other side of the internet highway. Peace and power.
Peace. Strong words. Love. Soul. And change. Yeah. This is Big Snoop Dogg. Coming at you live and direct. And I got something to say. You dig?
Let's change the world, divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, oh let's learn to love again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Whoa, oh, oh. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Brother, what will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the wire. The devil is a liar. I do this with no hesitation. Meet me at the reservation. Elevating, educating, meditating, concentrating. Replenish ya, finish ya, opposite of sinister. And I do it for the minister.
Let's change the world, divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, so let's learn to love again. Let's change the world, let's
Somebody need to stop the war. Man, the war ain't overseas, it's at your front door. And I done seen too many brothers shot up on the floor for more than drugs and some colors. And now you call us warlords. But if you can help it, then help it. But you ain't helping us. You so selfish and selfless, you wanna see us breathless and helpless. But I'ma hustle and tussle for all my brothers who struggle. Yeah, we bang the world. Now let's change the world.
Let's change the world, divided we fall, united we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, oh let's learn to love again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Oh, oh, oh. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
No killing, no shooting, no dying, no lying, no gang banging, so no more mamas crying. Everybody get along, man, that'd be the perfect song. Peace in the streets as I sit back on my phone, chilling with the president. He let me in the White House, back to the castle with the minister. No doubt, shoes at the front door. Love is what you come for. Let's get it right and unite, but do it front
Let's
so.
change the world, divided we fall, but united we stand. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, oh let's learn to love again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Whoa, oh, oh. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.